So Jaime Lannister was born in the towering golden halls of Casterly Rock, the heir of one of the richest and most powerful houses in Westeros. From the moment he could walk, his life was shaped by steel, discipline, and the constant expectation of greatness. His father, Lord Tywin Lannister, demanded perfection in every action, and the young boy learned early that failure was never an option. Wooden swords became extensions of his tiny hands, and he would practice strikes and parries until his fingers bled. Even at a young age, Jaime demonstrated a focus and reflexes that seemed beyond his years, catching the eyes of his instructors who whispered that this boy would not merely grow up to be a knight, but a legend. By age 8, he was sent to train under Sir Arthur Dayne, the Sword of the Morning, whose presence alone could strike fear into seasoned warriors. From Dayne, Jaime learned the elegance of motion, the subtle balance between attack and defense, the flow of steel like water, the art of reading an opponent's intent before a sword was even drawn. Every morning began before dawn with drills, strikes, and footwork. Every evening ended with meditation on the lessons learned. With Dayne, he learned that battles were won not by brute force, but by precision, timing, and anticipation. Alongside Dayne, Jaime trained with Sir Barristan Selmy, one of the most patient and disciplined swordsmen of his era. From Selmy, he absorbed the value of observation, defense, and patience, the ability to measure a foe's intentions, to parry without panic, to strike only when the moment was perfect. Selmy taught that victory often came from calm in the chaos, that a single well-placed strike could topple an entire army. Finally, Jaime trained under Sir Sumner Crakehall, a man whose brutal lessons of war would temper the boy's instincts for survival. Crakehall taught him to fight in mud, in rain, in darkness. He taught Jaime the merciless pragmatism required to live when outnumbered and outmatched. By 15, Jaime had blended the elegance of Dayne, the discipline of Selmy, and the ruthlessness of Crakehall into a style all his own, a style that would become feared across Westeros. It was during these early years that Jaime created his signature moves. The first was the Lion's Step, a sideways sidestep allowing him to evade even the strongest blows. It was first used near Crakehall, when a massive outlaw swung a heavy axe at him, only to have Jaime slip past it and deliver 2 swift, precise strikes that left the man dead before he realized what had happened. The second was the Golden Spiral, a spinning slash that could cut through multiple opponents and shatter shields. He perfected this during the Siege of Pike, where his spinning strikes felled 3 Ironborn in one breathtaking motion, opening a path for his soldiers to advance. The third was Cersei's Kiss, a direct thrust aimed at the heart, named after the only woman he ever truly loved. Its first famous use was in the narrow corridors of Duskendale, where a rebel fell silently under Jaime's precise blade. The Twin Fang assault followed, delivering 2 rapid diagonal strikes faster than the eye could follow. It became notorious during the Red Fork Bridge clash, slicing 2 knights before they could raise their shields. The Kingsguard cross, taught only to elite knights, allowed him to trap an enemy's blade and counter with lethal force, demonstrated with deadly effect during palace mutinies. The reverse grip finisher, ideal for close-quarters fighting, let him stab upward from unexpected angles, which he used to protect Brienne during a Riverlands ambush. Finally, the Lannister counter, a technique of supreme patience, let him read an opponent's move and deliver a single, perfect killing blow. Each of these techniques was honed through years of relentless training, practice, and battlefield experience. Jaime's first real battle came at 15 near Lannisport, when bandits ambushed his group. Using the Lion's Step, he dodged a massive strike and cut down the outlaw with a precise throat slash. That moment transformed him from a gifted boy into a warrior. As he matured, he fought in the Greyjoy Rebellion, leading the vanguard through storm-lashed beaches, climbing Pike's cliffs, and shattering Ironborn shields with the Golden Spiral, while personally dispatching captains using Twin Fang and Kingsguard cross. His exploits there became the foundation of his growing reputation as a golden lion on the battlefield. In the Riverlands, Jaime conducted raids, burning farms, ambushing patrols, and executing enemies with Cersei's Kiss and reverse grip finisher. At the Red Fork Bridge, he and his cavalry shattered the Tully defenses, using a mix of Golden Spiral and Twin Fang to cut through armored knights, leaving survivors terrified and broken. Beyond Robert's rebellion, the years hardened Jaime into a figure whispered about in keeps and camps alike. During the Greyjoy uprisings, he climbed the wet, black cliffs of Pike beneath hammering storms, leading men who followed him not out of fear, but because they believed no blade could strike him down before he struck first. On those iron rocks, he carved his place in the memories of the Ironborn, cutting a path through captains who prayed to the drowned god for mercy that never came. In the Riverlands, he moved with the precision of a man who had survived too much to ever waste motion. He led sudden night raids on Tully patrols, slipping through fog and forest like a ghost. At the Battle of Red Fork, while the river roared beneath the hooves of his cavalry, Jaime shattered the enemy's shield line and drove straight through their center as if fate itself had cleared the way for him. Those who lived claimed they had seen a golden shadow riding at the heart of chaos. But war is not only fought in open fields. In the deep woods of the Riverlands, Jaime learned the quiet kind of killing, the kind done beneath low branches, far from glory and banners. There he faced ambushers, deserters, and broken men with nothing left to lose. In those lonely places, surrounded by rain and rot, he acted with a cold clarity, ending threats with swift, decisive steel. It was there he realized that not all battles were songs waiting to be sung. Some were simply necessary endings written in blood. Through it all, rumors of his devotion to Cersei trailed him like a shadow. In letters burned after reading, in stolen moments behind closed doors, in choices no one else could ever understand, their bond endured. It shaped him in ways even he could not admit. Love for Jaime was neither escape nor salvation. It was a chain, one he carried willingly, even when it weighed heavier than any armor. As seasons turned and kingdoms rose and fell, his legend only grew. Men feared him. Women whispered about him, lords sought to win his loyalty, and enemies cursed his name in their final breaths. Yet beneath the tales, beneath the steel and the certainty, there remained the man who had once been a boy holding a wooden sword under the hard eyes of his father. A boy who had wanted only to master the blade and be worthy of the golden lion sewn upon his chest. In the end, what set Jaime Lannister apart was not the battles he survived or the kings he served. It was the unyielding will that drove every step, every strike, every choice. He fought not as a man seeking glory, but as one who understood that the world was carved by those willing to stand their ground when others fled. Wherever he rode, through storm or smoke, through loyalty or betrayal, his presence bent the battlefield around him. And so, in chronicles penned long after his passing, one truth remained constant. Jaime Lannister was a man forged in war, tempered by love, and remembered not for the titles he bore, but for the shadow he left upon the world. A golden shadow, fierce and unbroken, a lion whose roar echoed long after the sword fell silent.